Welcome to the Soaring Through Adversity podcast. I'm your host, Renee Bragelet. The Soaring Through Adversity podcast is brought to you by Victory Advantage, a certified nonprofit where our mission is to provide pathways of hope and opportunities for those with cognitive and physical disabilities. Through candid conversations and insightful interviews, we provide a platform for their narratives to shine while empowering our listeners to take flight with awareness, empathy, and embodying living the Eagle Way. This episode, Stronger Than Yesterday. Madison is a 36-year-old professional originally from West Palm Beach, Florida, and raised in Union County, North Carolina. She earned her bachelor's degree in communication from East Carolina University through an online program while balancing the demands of a full-time job and raising two young sons. Her oldest, Graydon, now 19, attends the University of Alabama, and her younger son, Bobby, 14, is a student at Providence Day School in Charlotte, North Carolina. Madison has a strong corporate background, holding various positions before joining Siemens as a business analyst in 2014, where she is still today. On New Year's Day 2017, Madison suffered a massive stroke, which left her unable to walk for a time and permanently affected the use of her left arm and partial use of her left leg. Her recovery journey was long and challenging, with 6 weeks of inpatient rehabilitation in Pineville, North Carolina, followed by 10 weeks at the renowned Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Despite these challenges, she remains determined and resilient, continuing to pursue her professional and personal goals. Are you ready to jump in, Madison?
I'm ready.
How old were you when you moved to Union County?
I think about 8.
8 years old. And where did you live in Union County?
Matthews area, like Stevens Mill.
Okay. And what schools did you attend?
Hemby Bridge Elementary, Piedmont Middle, and Piedmont High.
Piedmont High School. So what was your favorite thing about high school?
Probably cheerleading.
Cheerleading. Oh, you were a cheerleader.
Sure was.
That's where you get that positive attitude. Well, tell me about getting your online degree at East Carolina University with 2 young children and a full-time job, all while being a single mom. How would you describe that journey?
Definitely wasn't easy, but I got pregnant in high school, so going off to college was not in the cards, and I always knew I wanted to get a degree. So finally buckled down and found a place to do it online where I could take care of kids and work at the same time.
We mentioned 2 young children. Tell me about how you felt when Graydon was accepted into Alabama.
So proud.
And you're going there tomorrow, correct?
I'm going tomorrow morning from Parents Weekend, yep.
Oh, that's exciting. He was also accepted into other schools too, wasn't he?
Yeah, a couple of them. It's getting a little bit harder to get accepted in these SEC schools, but
he did nonetheless.
he did, and yeah, Alabama was the final pick.
So the youngest son, Bobby, goes to Providence Day. Tell the listeners about him.
That kid is a trip. He's 14. He plays everything. Soccer season just ended. He's in lacrosse season. Then he'll play basketball, and then he'll play more lacrosse.
Well, you mentioned in your bio that you had a stroke. Tell me about the day leading up to your stroke. What were your symptoms?
I didn't really have any. It was New Year's Eve, 2016. We went to a wedding that night. Nothing really felt off. The next morning, everything was fine until it wasn't. Later that afternoon, I couldn't use my left thumb, and my oldest son was like, something's not right. And he FaceTimed my mom, and she had a little bit of medical background and was like, I'm coming to get you, you're having a stroke. I was like, nope, I'm 28 years old, not having a stroke. And
28?
28.
Oh, my goodness.
She came to get me and took me to the emergency room, waited in the ED for 9.5 hours, and then they sent me home. And then when
Sent you home?
Sent me home.
They sent you home. Did they not see that there was anything going on at that point?
Nope, they missed it.
They missed it. Oh, my goodness. So where did you actually have the stroke?
Apparently when I got home, I collapsed.
And then you were called in an ambulance?
Called an ambulance back to the hospital that discharged me. And then another couple of hours passed, and I was transferred to downtown Charlotte.
Yes.
They did a craniectomy, removed part of my skull to give my brain room to swell. I don't remember a whole lot after that.
Well, that's understandable. How long were you in the hospital?
I think I was in ICU for a while, and then I was moved to inpatient rehab in Pineville, North Carolina for 6 weeks. I was there till I think about Valentine's Day, and then went home. And then I went to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, best like spinal cord rehab in the country, for 2 months, 10 weeks.
Was that beneficial?
I think so. I think it's the only reason I can live on my own now.
And you couldn't walk for a time.
No, I was in a wheelchair for a while.
Your bio said that you have no use of your left arm and partial use of your left leg. How has that affected you long term?
I mean, it's almost 8 years out, and I still don't have a left arm, but I've kind of figured everything out at this point. There's a lot of adaptive equipment, and I have a lot of help.
It doesn't sound like you've let anything stop you.
Try not to.
Well, I got a question for you. What do you do to stay in such good shape?
I wouldn't say I'm in good shape, but
Yes, you are.
recovery is still very important to me. I still go to physical therapy every other week, and I found a love for Pilates after my stroke, so that's really kept me strong and stretched and in shape since.
That's amazing because basically from what you've described, your whole entire left side was affected.
Oh yeah, I couldn't move anything.
But you do Pilates?
I found ways to modify every exercise, and Pilates has been life-changing.
You live alone,
Live alone, 2 kids.
so you're able to accomplish even the most mundane things that people take for granted every day.
Oh yeah, folding laundry's hard, cooking's hard. I can't tie my own shoes. My kids help a lot. Bobby's still at home. He helps a lot. He folds all my laundry.
Oh, good for him. Sounds like you got a good kid there.
He puts my jewelry on.
Oh, that is
He's
amazing.
sweet. He's going to be a great little boyfriend, husband one
Oh,
day.
yes. He's definitely going to be a good boyfriend and husband. Tell me how your stroke affected your son, Graydon.
I definitely think it made him grow well beyond his years. He, to get into college, he had to write an essay, and he wrote about me and my stroke, and you can tell that it really affected him. You don't realize how much until you read it.
I read the essay that he wrote to get into Alabama, and I just want to share just a little brief sentence in it. It says, "She had an inner strength that surpassed any measuring stick a bleak prognosis offered. Madison was strong, and she grew stronger in time, though the time would be incredibly long." He also says that it also led to an unexpected blessing. This guy is special, very special. How old was Bobby when you had the stroke?
The boys were 6 and 11.
Oh my goodness. That is a young age to deal with such...
At least old enough to do things on their own, but they still help me a whole bunch.
That's great. That's great. Stay with us while we take a break and hear a word from our sponsor.
The Soaring Through Adversity podcast is presented by Victory in Time. Victory in Time's mission is to help executives, leaders, and business owners excel in their faith, lives, and work. Through speaking engagements, one-on-one mentoring, and our mastermind groups, known as Victory Circles, Victory in Time wants to help you become the best leader you can be. Find out more at victoryintime.com. Also, don't forget to pick up your copy of the Soaring Through Adversity book, Life Lessons to Lead Triumph and Rise Above. All net proceeds from sales of the Soaring Through Adversity book benefit Victory Advantage.
Can you share any memorable moments or lessons that you've learned from your journey that has stayed with you?
I mean, I guess just keep on keeping on. Every day it gets better.
I heard someone say that you wore a t-shirt for a long time that said "Stronger Than Yesterday."
Oh, yeah.
What kind of meaning did that have for you?
We all had those shirts after my stroke, and
All of your friends and family?
friends and family, yeah. It's just every day just gets better. You just got to get up every day and make it happen.
Did you see more of a progression in your healing in the early days than say as time went on?
I don't know. They always said it in the hospital, the most that you gained in the first year or so would be all that you'd really recover from, but I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like I'm still recovering every day.
So you feel like it's what you set your mind to do, not what the doctors tell you?
Well, you can't really set your mind to getting your body parts back, but yeah, it's gotten better over time. I feel like year 5, I gained a bunch of weight after a stroke, and then it wasn't until year 5 when I lost it all and really felt like I started moving better.
Oh, that's great. That's great. How has your experiences shaped your perspective on life and resilience?
Obviously, I'm very thankful to still be here. I think it's changed my whole family. We've all learned a lot.
How do you see the landscape of treatment and support for individuals that have had a stroke and deal with what you deal with on a daily basis?
I mean, I do think medical advancements are going to get better and better as time goes on. At some point, I'm sure there will be like a stem cell, something that'll make the use of the left side or right side come back, but it's not happening in my time frame.
It may.
It may, but then
With your positive attitude, yes.
I'm not even sure I care to get it back. I've gone this long without having a left arm. I wouldn't even know what to do if I had it.
What an attitude. What an attitude. What message would you like to leave for future generations regarding disabilities and finding strength in what you're going through?
I don't know. I mean, I never really thought I'd ever become disabled at such a young age, but
You know, that's something that I want to encourage the listeners to understand, that you wonder how disabilities may affect you, and you just never know, because it could be, it could be a birth defect, it could be an accident, it could be just simple aging that could cause you to have disabilities. So it does affect all of us in one way or another. It's my mission to teach people how to treat people with disabilities. What do you suggest that others can do to make your life better?
I mean, I don't see myself as disabled, and a lot of people do. And I think I don't like to be babied, And if I need help, I'll ask for it. I'm going to try to do it myself first.
Well, you are independent. It sounds like you don't let nothing stop you. Where do you draw your greatest strength?
I don't know. I mean, that was definitely something to overcome. I'm a much better Madison because of it, I think.
So you think the stroke improved you as a person?
Definitely.
How?
I guess just more empathy, and obviously seeing people with disabilities and just being stronger and just, I don't know, having to overcome everything.
I understand that you're a big part of the Johnny and Friends Disability Ministry.
I am.
How do you support them?
Me and my family go on their family retreats and volunteer as short-term missionaries, they kind of call it, and we buddy up with somebody that has a disability or somebody in a family of somebody with a disability and help take care of them all week long.
Oh, that's fantastic. How many times have you done that?
Probably 2 years after the stroke, so 2019 probably.
Oh,
Every summer.
that's amazing that you are willing to go out and help others.
I knew after the stroke I wanted to do something to help. And when I got involved with Johnny and Friends, they asked if we wanted to come as a family with disability or come and help. And I definitely wanted to go and help.
Well, I'm sure the people there that you're with draw from the strength that you show. It sounds like in everything that you do. Are there other ways that you give back?
I do. I volunteer at the hospital. It's called a peer mentoring program. It's people that have kind of like been through what you've been through. I go and visit patients at the hospital who've had strokes and amputees and brain injuries or whatever.
Oh my gosh, and what does that entail?
Kind of just like sharing their experiences and encouraging them. And it's kind of all I wanted when I was 28 years old, was somebody my age to walk in there and be like, look, I did it. This is how you do it. This is how you get through it. Look at me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I heard that you did Wake for the World. Tell us about that.
I did. I went and met with those guys up at Moss Lake, and they do adaptive water sports. They were able to get me on a kneeboard and pull me behind a boat.
That's fantastic.
It was pretty cool.
Did you do that with Chuck Hoyle?
I did that with Chuck.
He's an amazing man,
He
a
is.
great individual, and the picture of positivity.
I'm sure I have pictures of me behind a boat somewhere.
Well, we need to find those.
We do.
Well, thank you for being my guest today, Madison. And I think you'll notice that when I introduced Madison, I didn't give her last name. It's because it's Brazilet. She is my bonus daughter. And I have watched her go through so much. She briefly mentioned where they removed part of her skull so that her brain would have room to swell. Just the time that I watched her go through where she didn't know anybody, to the point when she was in the Charlotte Rehabilitation Center, to be in a wheelchair to learn how to walk again. And a lot of times we don't know why things happen to us. But that was an opportunity for me to lean down in front of her when she had her helmet on that she had to wear to make sure she didn't do any future damage to her brain. I was able to squat down in front of her with tears in our eyes and say, You never know why things happen to you, but I believe that I had my brain tumor so that I could sit here with you today and tell you that I know exactly how you feel.
Right, we both had to learn how to walk again.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It's my right side that was affected, and it is her left side that's affected. So we're a pretty interesting pair when
We
we're
used to joke about going and shoe shopping together and finding a size, because we were the same size, get a shoe that might go on my right foot or her left foot so that we could fit our braces in the shoes. And when we walked beside each other, it's pretty entertaining.
Oh, people are always asking, what happened to y'all? So it's interesting. And I have drawn such strength from her, watching her accomplish what she has without the use of her arms. She doesn't let anything stop her. I mean, it could be going to a concert. She doesn't let it slow her down. I've seen her crawl into a boat after swimming, after she's jumped into the water. She just doesn't stop. She just keeps going. And with her children, we've just learned so much from Madison. And I do believe from watching her and how it has changed her for so much better that it has been a blessing in a weird way.
Definitely.
Madison, you embody the eagle trait of adaptability, the ability to wait for the best opportunities and outcomes, coupled with flexibility in various situations while maintaining vigilance, watchfulness, and alertness. Like an eagle, you demonstrate flexibility in your current way of life with unwavering perseverance. Thank you for being my guest today. You are truly an inspiration. And thank you to our listeners for your valuable time. Follow us on this platform for new episodes of the Soaring Through Adversity podcast, published on the first day of each month. To donate, be a board member, or volunteer your time and talent, or apply for a grant to assist people with disabilities to live independently, please visit thevictoryadvantage.org. Once again, that is thevictoryadvantage.org. And always remember, faith first, not last, and living the Eagle way will lead to victory in time.